Welcome to BWI, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first actual episode that we are going to have of BWI. From beginning to end, we are going to have about 3 matches. And this is your first show, and it is going to open with the owner of BWI and the CEO, E-Rock, along with bodyguard of his, as it seems. I'm sure he's going to explain more when he comes out. I am your announcer, Jack the Ripper. And I will be commentating alone for the first show, but I'm sure that is going to be fixed soon.
I know everybody's been waiting for this for a long time, and I could not be more excited to announce that the BWI is back.
We're excited about that too.
And a lot of you are probably wondering who's this man to my side. This is my bodyguard, Big John Uhas, and he's
Big John Uhas, ladies and gentlemen.
Problems that I don't feel like dealing with. Now, your next question might be, what is going to be BWI's return match? And I have that answer. It's going to be this man versus the next biggest signee of BWI, Carlos Stone.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, the main event. This is going to be a match that you've seen numerous times before, but it never gets old. E-Rock versus CPH once again.
Wow, perhaps the biggest match in BWI's history.
On top. And it's funny because every single time that...
Oh, now here comes CPH. And guys, I just want to make a point real quick. Carlos Stone is bigger than Big John Uhas, and Big John Uhas is the biggest man that we've seen in BWI thus far, and so that's going to be 2 behemoths going head-to-head in BWI's return match, and you're not going to want to miss that. And the main event with, 2 guys with the most history in BWI, being E-Rock and CPH. They've been here since the inception of BWI in early 2013, so let's see what CPH has to say.
Well, E-Rock, I'm about just as glad as you are that BWI is finally back. But obviously, throughout the times, things changed. Our roster, the president, Domino's ingredients. But I know one thing hasn't changed. That is you, my friend.
He has a point. A stare off. Big John Uhas doing his job.
Throughout the entire span of BWI, throughout every generation of BWI. Before he was even called BWI, you were playing your sneaky little games, doing your own little thing.
He has a point there too, but CPH...
Shots, doing your same old BS.
CPH doesn't exactly have a lot of room to talk.
I know that Carlos Stone isn't exactly getting himself into a predicament that he wants to be in, not because he can't handle it, because that guy, I've seen him, he's a great performer and athlete.
That is a correct statement as well.
Up in the back, getting ready to end you in your first ever match. I'll be in this corner. I'll make sure you can't pull any of your dumb BS and tricks that you do. In our match later tonight, you say you're going to come on top just like every other time, but I've counted numerous CPA's victories over E-Rock in the past.
Well, we'd have to fact check that one.
Too many to count, honestly. Probably more than you've had over me. And I just assume it's going to be just like any other time. And with a spear, 1, 2, 3 in the middle of that ring.
Well, certainly a statement by CPH, and we're going to have to wait for the main event later tonight. But next, we're going to have the return match of BWI, Carlos Stone versus Big John Uhas. Stay with us for that. We're going to have a very, very short 2-second break. And here we are to start with the return match of BWI, and making debut here at BWI is the very big Carlos Stone. And if there's one thing that he needs to prove, that size indeed matter. And I'm sure that everybody's wondering who that is that's in the ring there, but next to the ring, and that is our guest commentator, Mike Honcho, and he is going to be giving some in-ring commentary for the wrestlers live for them to be aware of what's going on. And now introducing Big John Uhas for the second time tonight. We saw him earlier in the introduction, and his boss, E-Rock, who is also the owner of BWI. And now we see these two men who are obviously the two biggest men to step foot into a BWI ring at all in the history of BWI. So now we have CPAs here and in Carlos Stone's corner, and he made it apparent that it is not going to be a team, just going to be Mike Honcho with the jokes. The lockup. And now Big John Uhas is sizing up Carlos Stone, if you will, and now another lockup and into the corner and a rake and right hand to Carlos Stone. Carlos Stone obviously not taking that too well. That's starting kind of slow for the first match back. Headlock in on John Uhas. And a wicked shoulder block to Big John Uhas. Carlos Stone over him and right hand of his own to Uhas. And Uhas is down, and E-Rock looking a bit worried there on his new bodyguard. Maybe he's not everything that he's been hoping he would be. And E-Rock and Ace outside of the ring bickering. And guys, earlier what CPA said about E-Rock having, along with Carlos Stone, what CPA said about E-Rock controlling everything, CPAs does not have exactly a lot of room to talk because E-Rock and CPAs had a team of their own called Ignition back in the day where they ruled together as the authoritative figure. So CPAs doesn't exactly have a lot of room to talk. And now Uhas with a submission move, trying to get to the ropes, and he gets him. Ref counting, and he eventually lets go.
Looks like E-Rock's got something suspicious going on with it.
Into another headlock submission move, and I don't see Stone tapping, but he will be one down.
And he's grabbing his face. Running out of stuff.
E-Rock trying to get in the ring, ref being distracted by it, and the turnbuckle, and now running and clothesline. Oh, he hit him. The ref, I guess, didn't see it, but now here goes roll up. Ref sees it now and goes for the pin. And now E-Rock going right after Carlos Stone, right after the match, and now CPA is going into the aid of Carlos Stone, and now Uhas and E-Rock into retreat, and Ace's aid helps.
And then we're making the exit to the door. CPAs, can we get a quick word?
Yo, what's up?
We just want to know your thoughts on the John Uhas versus Carlos Stone match and what you think is going to transpire during the main event tonight.
Well, I expect the same exact thing that happened during that match. Expect some cheap shots. Expect some low blows. I expect all that BS. But I just want to be able to keep my composure. I want to be able to keep doing what I'm doing in the ring. I don't want to change my style at all because I know E-Rock's going to want to get in my head like he's done in the past. So, no matter what happens after the match, before the match, between now and then, I just want to get out of there with a victory, holding my head high. And I want to keep Carlos Stone's head high at the same exact time, as we might be having to fight these guys often from now on.
Thank you.
CPA certainly seeming focused about his main event match later tonight, and now we are going to go on over to our second match of the evening with Extro. Seen this man before as well, and he came over from the old EHW promotion and trying to make a statement in the BWI, and he's going to be facing the talented, brash, and, well, arrogant $50 Shades, who is also a returning member of the BWI, and pretty decorated in his own right. Feels that his gentleman. Some updated attire from the last time we've seen him, and not care who about how rich he is and how talented he is. As I said, though, he is a very decorated superstar in his own right, former United States and Intercontinental Champion. We get started here and size him pull up and look up. I talked to Evan Extro earlier backstage, and he just said, he just wants to prove himself here. He wants to prove himself to E-Rock, and I'm sure both of these guys do. You want to impress your boss in the first night, and I'm sure that both of these men are looking to do that, maybe getting a future title shot. And Wicked DDT goes going for an early cover, kick out at 2. Not really a surprise there. And a swinging neck breaker. Puts him in a submission hold. And counters going into a cover. And couldn't really get all of it. Kind of off balance there. 50 Shades goes right back on the attack. And forearm right to the top of the head and going for these elbows. And guys, he calls this the money elbows. And sizing up for the big one here, and Evan Extro able to move out of the way. And that's gotta hurt. That's a mat, but it doesn't exactly do a lot to you. He's got 50 Shades in this variation of an ankle lock, and look how he's twisting the knee along with it, adding to the pain there. And is Fiddy going to tap out? Denying it, but you never know how much he can withstand. And can't quite get to it, and is able to finally get to it, and Evan Extro with the break. Ducks under it, and nice super kick there. Don't know if he quite got all of it, but super kick nonetheless, and going for the cover. And referee, count of 2. Going for what he calls the money maker, and is denied by Evan Extro. Evan Extro punch to the head, and now going for that Hurricane Rana move, and he hits it, and that might be it. And he gets the 3 on him, and Evan Extro is your winner. To not really that much of a surprise. I mean, Evan Extro really is a great competitor, very talented, and now Evan Extro not leaving. I'm concerned to see what's going on here, and a sign of sportsmanship. No, and Evan Extro with a clothesline. No love lost between these two, and Evan Extro making a statement saying, E-Rock, I'm here to stay, and I want a title shot of some sort. And Fifty Shades is left laying on his back.
You know, I told everybody that John has exactly what it takes to be the top here in BWI.
Yep.
And he proved it tonight against Carlos Stone.
I did.
And wait a minute. What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Guys, I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out now what that was backstage. I don't really know what to say. It wasn't on the schedule for tonight. Obviously, this isn't exactly live, and I'm commentating this over the actual show, but I wasn't made aware of this, and I don't quite know who or what this is. I don't know what this is, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't even know how to explain it. Definitely creepy, weird, something like I have never seen before, and has to be demented. He's just leaving. He's not even doing anything. He just gone. I guess we're just going to see Ace in the backstage area. I don't know what to say.
Carlos. Hey. Just want to say thank you for having my back out there tonight, and I happened to notice you didn't have somebody in your corner with your match against E-Rock, so I was just going to offer, since you have...
Let me stop you in your tracks. You gotta understand, just because we have a common enemy doesn't mean we're partners. I'm still a lone wolf. I'm still walking around here. This is my business, okay? Now, I know we're going to be teaming up in the future to take on these guys, but, I can't even get into it right now. I got a match.
CPA's not having any of it, I guess. Well, now here we go to start the main event, ladies and gentlemen. CPA versus E-Rock, and Carlos Stone just extending an offer and an olive branch to come out at the aid of CPA should he need it, and CPA's declining, saying he's a lone wolf, saying that he still walks alone, and now CPA's walking to the ring and getting ready for the first main event match of the episodic BWI shows. And now here comes the owner once again,
And here comes the man that everybody has been talking
E-Rock, and this man certainly is not one to mess with, not one to I'm sorry guys, I'm still kind of discombobulated of what we just saw. This creepy thing coming to the ring, and I still don't know what to say, and I'm gonna try to get an update for everybody on what or who that was. But I'm trying to turn the focus here to the main event, I guess. And again, CPAs versus E-Rock. These guys have had a lot of history together, both being teams and bitter rivals. Both men being former BWI champions, world heavyweight champions. CPAs being former United States champion along with E-Rock, and having very similar careers. Again, CPA's calling out E-Rock for his actions in the past. And CPA's not exactly having a lot of room to talk, as he has teamed up with E-Rock in the past.
There it is, E-Rock strikes first.
Now we're going to be starting with the lockup here, and ducks out on the clothesline. Oh, kick to the stomach. ducks under, and atomic drop. Another kick to the chest.
Like I was saying earlier, this is something easy.
Educated feet of the veteran E-Rock. And now doing that headstand as he always does. Classic mat wrestling by E-Rock. And now the very, what E-Rock needs to watch out about is that spear. I mean, CPA's spear can come out of nowhere. He's hit it so many times, and the thing is, these guys really, they know each other so well. They've had so many matches against each other, and hip toss to putting him back on the mat. CPA's.
And now goes to seem to be putting him into a submission. That's nothing. We're gonna
He's trying to be the supporter of E-Rock and kick out before he can even get down.
Way too early. Both men seem to be quite aggressive.
And a little move there. And now DDT into the mat. And now E-Rock is in control. And you don't want to let E-Rock get in control because he's more of a brawler. He's more of a, punches and kicks. And he will beat you up. And he will do it aggressively. As he is showing right here, going after every single limb of CPA's, and last of all, the head. Going for the cover. John talking to the ref, and he says he's gonna fire him if he doesn't shape up. And that was a nice breaker variation there, and kick out a tube from E-Rock, and
the new Justice League movie came out tonight.
Mike Honcho, always the lighthearted, joking self, and E-Rock feeling some. CPA's and Yuha's going after it, and now roll up, and he did the same way that the first match ended, and CPA's is able to kick out.
E-Rock and Big Daddy John like to play it dirty. Definitely like it dirty. There is no doubt about that.
John Yuha's trying to. And Bulldog.
A bulldog. That's what
wow.
it is. Thank you, Ref.
And now here. Can't believe, CPA's and E-Rock. Oh, that looked very painful. Looked like he landed on his neck there, and Yuha's trying to grab the attention. Just attacking that knee that has the brace on it, the pad, and it's not a bad strategy. A lot of action happening, and you can't exactly see it. There's not a moving camera as of now, but believe me, that is going to be changed. And another small package roll-up, and he's able to kick out, and he switches it, and both men able to kick out. Match is still going on. Oh, right against the post there. And plants him on his face, going for another cover. Kicks out again.
That was a little questionable counting by the ref, but E-Rock seemed to sneak out of that.
And E-Rock surprising CPA's, and CPA's able to kick out. E-Rock going for his finisher. His finisher being called. Oh, with the backbreaker. And now CPA's is in control once again. As I was saying, though, E-Rock's finisher is called the Dead Man's Curve. I'm sure we're going to see it later. That move is deadly. He has not shown it very much in the past, but he has shown it. And that match, believe me, I've watched a lot of film. It is deadly. E-Rock's getting involved once again. The ref kind of losing control of this match. E-Rock trying to be the aggressor, trying to beat down CPA's into pulp. And He's up once again. You can tell both men are starting to tire. Going for maybe figure 4, but now the ref is still he's being distracted. And hold line, and that didn't really do much. And Yuha's being taken down here. There's a couple punches and doesn't exactly do a lot as Yuhas is one of the toughest men we've seen. He beat Carlos Stone. I mean, while it was under controversial circumstances, he still did it, and he did hold his own against Carlos Stone. So there's a lot to hold on to there. And now I remember, all the viewers, leave your comments on your opinions. Also, a little side note, follow at BWI Wrestling on Instagram and Twitter. Repeat, at BWI Wrestling for updates, news, pictures, backstage photos, and whatnot. I'm sure more news is going to be coming, but required to sponsor the social media platforms. And if you're liking this, subscribe for more. And CPA's going right in on the face of E-Rock, and with a headbutt right to the back. Especially with pro wrestling like this, you take a lot of hits to the back, and I mean, almost every fall you take is going to be to the back. Exhibit A. I mean, that's one of the best places to attack in the wrestling match. They're going to be landing on that most of the time. Leg drop right onto the neck of CPA's.
Just pin him already.
Spear out of nowhere, as I just said before. Spear can happen out of nowhere, and E-Rock is able to kick out. CPA's obviously not too happy about that. See, nobody kicks out of that, obviously, and now E-Rock going up, and he hit him with the dead man's curve. That's what I'm saying. It is a brutal move. And both men are down. E-Rock not able to capitalize on that, not able to get the cover, and I guess he can now. And Ace now able to kick out. Both men have hit their finisher. Both men down. They are tired. They are worn out. And E-Rock trying a statement. And he's taking the ref out of the play. And now Yuhas is strangling Ace. And now all of a sudden we can see Carlos Stone coming to the aid. But the camera angle is not able to reach it. There's more happening than what meets the eye, and E-Rock just drops Ace, not even worrying about it, trying to get the ref back in the ring before he could do anything. And now CP Ace trying to boot to the head. And jumping DDT, and now E-Rock might be done for if CP Ace can just get the cover on E-Rock. And Yuha's trying. He lets go right when the ref turns around. And goes for the spear and low blow! Low blow! And the ref calls it. And now Stone is going in the ring. And guys, all hell is broken loose here. I don't even know what to say. The same exact thing as the first match. And shoulder block to Carlos Stone. Guys, I think I saw. Yeah, E-Rock grabbed a chain him right to the head. And Carlos Stone. And super kick right to the head. Stone and Ace are both down. And
Where's that microphone at?
E-Rock asking for the microphone. I'm not even sure if he needs one. We're in a garage.
If you actually thought for 1 second that you were going to be able to pull one over on me, you were dead wrong. Next week, main event. Me and John versus Carlos Stone and CPA.
Well, that's one hell of a main event as well.
And in 2 weeks, we're holding our first special event called Oblivion. And during that event, we're going to be crowning our first BWI United States Champion, Intercontinental Champion, and World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, big news from the boss, I guess.
And let me tell you, I'm in that world title match.
Well, surprise, surprise
I'm going
there.
to come out of Oblivion as the champion.
Not really surprised there. And guys, that is it for us here today for the first episode back of BWI Buckeye Wrestling Incorporated. And tune in next episode for more. And until then, be sure to subscribe and remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BWI Wrestling.